Beneath the blazing Sahara sun, in a land often overlooked by global headlines, something extraordinary has emerged, a hidden marvel of modern engineering that is rapidly redefining Africa's technological landscape. Deep underground, in the heart of Burkina Faso lies a colossal data center, unlike any other, completely self-sufficient. This facility produces its own energy through a combination of geothermal and solar power systems, ensuring independence from any external energy source. It is a technological oasis in the desert, both metaphorically and literally. The way this ambitious project was financed is just as astonishing as the structure itself. Alongside a careful use of the country's gold reserves, Burkina Faso secretly ran cryptocurrency mining operations for years. Traoré's team, well-versed in the volatility of the crypto market, made strategic decisions buying up Bitcoin when prices were low, then funding the project through carefully timed sales when the market surged. All of this happened entirely outside of traditional banking channels, shielding the entire operation from international scrutiny. But the heart of this data center isn't just storage, it's innovation. Inside, some of the most advanced artificial intelligence research labs in Africa are quietly shaping the continent's digital future. These labs are creating AI systems trained specifically in Africa's local languages and cultural contexts. Not Western imports repackaged for the continent, but truly African models, by Africans, for Africans. Designed with respect to African traditions and societal nuances, these AI tools aim to tackle uniquely local problems with culturally relevant solutions. One floor above, researchers are analyzing another form of code, human DNA. The center houses Africa's largest genomic sequencing lab, focusing on diseases prevalent across the continent. With this knowledge, scientists hope to develop affordable, targeted treatments that merge traditional African medicine with modern biomedical science. For Traoré, Africa's genetic diversity is not just a biological fact, it's a source of untapped strength. Even deeper underground is a space that feels like something out of science fiction, a 10,000 square meter quantum computing research facility. Here, teams are working on machines capable of solving problems far beyond the reach of classical computers. According to Traoré's advisors, mastery of quantum computing could determine global power in the second half of the 21st century, and Africa is no longer sitting on the sidelines. Protecting all of this is one of the most advanced security systems ever conceived. Entry is guarded by a 7-layer protocol that includes biometric scanning, voice and behavior recognition, and even neural pattern analysis. Around the entire facility is an invisible electronic shield, stretching out 50 kilometers in every direction. This shield jams all unauthorized signals and prevents any aerial drones from coming close. Yet the most intriguing part may lie in a hidden chamber, the so-called digital doomsday vault. This system serves as a last resort backup, a fail-safe designed to keep Africa's digital infrastructure running, even if the entire global internet goes dark. In the event of a cyber war or worldwide outage, this facility could ensure Africa remains digitally alive. The materials used in the center's construction were traditional building materials wouldn't survive in the harsh desert climate. Instead, scientists used advanced nanotech composites, resistant to heat, sand, and electromagnetic interference. These materials don't just protect against the elements, they also block external detection, making the center nearly invisible to outside monitoring. Connecting the complex to the global internet posed another enormous challenge. Traoré's engineers laid submarine fiber optic cables from the West African coastline, hidden beneath the Atlantic Ocean, disguised as routine fishing vessels. Special ships deployed the cables in deep-sea locations that evade conventional mapping systems. Today, this secret connection links the facility to the world, but on Africa's terms. But this project goes far beyond infrastructure. From within this fortress, engineers have developed Africa's first independent search engine and social media platforms. These platforms are designed to safeguard Africa's data from exploitation and ensure that digital traffic stays inside the continent. As Traoré famously declared, Africa's data must serve Africa. Perhaps the most controversial part of the facility is what's happening behind its most restricted doors. The continent's first research center for autonomous defense systems, powered by artificial intelligence. These systems are said to be purely defensive, built to protect against cyber attacks and physical incursions. Critics fear militarization. Supporters call it long overdue self-defense. Looking ahead, the vision becomes even more ambitious. Over the next 5 years, the data center's capacity is set to double. Satellite centers will be built in every major African city, creating a continent-wide digital grid that is fully independent and internally routed. An unexpected byproduct of this development is a revolution in education. Traoré made coding and artificial intelligence part of the core curriculum in every school in Burkina Faso. The idea? Train a generation of local experts to maintain and evolve the data center. The results have been staggering. Other African countries are now adopting similar programs. Following the trail blazed by this tiny nation with a massive dream, the international impact is growing rapidly. The African Union has recognized the facility as a symbol of digital independence and is urging member states to follow suit. Meanwhile, countries from Latin America to Southeast Asia have opened talks with Burkina Faso to replicate the model, a sign that the project is far more than a national achievement. To counter rising threats, Traoré formed a cybersecurity elite known as the Digital Lions, comprised of some of the world's top ethical hackers and cyber defense specialists. They guard the complex's networks from hostile interference. Their role is not just protection, it's deterrence. Ethics also plays a central role. A digital ethics council, formed within the center, reviews every research initiative for compliance with human rights and global ethical standards. Traoré has been clear, this center must serve people, not oppress them. Inside the facility is something few outsiders have seen, the African Digital Archive. Here, the continent's oral traditions, music, art, languages, and history are preserved. In ultra-high-resolution formats, the goal is simple: protect and pass on Africa's cultural wealth to future generations before it vanishes. And around this entire complex, a new city is rising, Digital Valley, a hub for startups, researchers, and tech entrepreneurs. It's quickly becoming a magnet for Africa's brightest minds. What once was barren desert is now a budding Silicon Valley of the continent. Health innovation continues within the center's supercomputers, which are analyzing new compounds for African diseases, integrating modern pharmacology with traditional remedies. This fusion of old wisdom and new tools may unlock treatments the world has overlooked for decades. A digital academy now sits within the complex, open to students from all over Africa. Here, they study artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, quantum physics, and more. Traoré's dream is clear: to cultivate the architects of Africa's technological future. What makes this story even more remarkable is the personal involvement of President Ibrahim Traoré himself. Far from a distant leader, he was directly involved in every stage, from blueprint to execution. With a background in engineering and a passion for technology, he made hands-on decisions, especially around the center's security and ethical foundations. Speculation abounds over what the center could ultimately become. Some analysts say it's the dawn of Africa's rise in the global tech race. With breakthroughs in AI genomics and quantum computing, the continent could leapfrog industrial-age dependencies and become a 21st-century superpower in its own right. Perhaps the most exciting ambition is what lies beyond Earth itself. Plans are underway to make this facility the command hub for Africa's first space program, including satellite development and launches. For Traoré and his advisors, space isn't just a dream. It's the next frontier in the fight for sovereignty, security, and presence on the global stage. One thing is certain: buried beneath the sand, in the quiet heart of Burkina Faso, the future is being built. One server, one satellite, and one idea at a time. Just 230 kilometers north of Ouagadougou, the heart of Burkina Faso, lies one of the greatest technological secrets in modern history, buried beneath the relentless sands of the Sahara Desert. What was hidden for 3 years, only to be discovered 2 weeks ago, could alter the global technological balance forever. A massive underground data center, initiated by President Ibrahim Traoré, constructed in absolute secrecy. The facility, reportedly costing over $7.2 billion, spans an area equivalent to 150 football fields, entirely underground. It all started with a curious anomaly. French satellite company Astroscope detected strange heat signatures in the desert. At first, they dismissed them as sensor glitches, but further analysis revealed patterns too precise to be random, clear indicators of a vast cooling system. Beneath the surface, French intelligence launched a reconnaissance mission. Their aircraft spotted nothing but a modest desert outpost, something that could easily be mistaken for a small research station. But the truth lay buried 70 meters underground. Under Traoré's leadership, one of the largest digital infrastructure projects in Africa had been quietly built. Over 6,000 workers were involved, but none knew the full scale of what they were building. Teams were separated, access was tightly restricted, and even engineers only had clearance for their specific sections, piece by piece. A technological fortress was born hidden from the world. Perhaps the most astonishing feat was how they cooled the system, using ancient underground river systems, flowing for over 10,000 years. Charted on any modern map, engineers created a sustainable and efficient cooling system. In a region where water is scarcer than gold, this discovery alone was groundbreaking. Material transport was another masterpiece of secrecy. Construction supplies moved only after midnight, in small dispersed convoys. Instead of heading directly to the site, they were rerouted through various points in the desert, making satellite tracking nearly impossible. What global intelligence agencies failed to detect was the systematic precision of this movement. Even more intriguing was the financing. Traoré tapped into Burkina Faso's gold reserves, but also funneled profits from a covert, large-scale cryptocurrency mining operation. For years, analysts were puzzled by the country's rapidly growing Bitcoin reserves. Now we know why. The specifications of the data center are staggering: over 50,000 servers, 200 petabytes of storage, and a supercomputing cluster capable of 450 trillion operations per second, on par with Google's or Amazon's most advanced facilities. Power is generated via geothermal systems, drilled deep into the Sahara's crust. Engineers discovered 180 degrees Celsius underground water sources, providing both heat and energy in a self-sustaining loop. But Traoré's ambitions go far beyond data storage. This facility is the heart of Africa's first independent artificial intelligence research hub. He has long spoken about creating homegrown African language models, AI systems trained on African languages, culture, and context. With this infrastructure, that dream is no longer a fantasy. Even more disruptive is the launch of the African Union, digital currency designed to rival the US dollar and euro in intercontinental trade. According to sources, the currency will be secured and managed from this very facility. For many, this represents a bold step toward African financial sovereignty. A day after the discovery, Traoré addressed the press with a message that was both bold and unapologetic. Africa's digital future must remain in Africa's hands. He declined to share specific technical details, citing national security concerns. But experts believe this center may also be a testbed for quantum computing. If true, it would place Burkina Faso among the most advanced nations in computing. Unimaginable leap for one of the world's poorest countries. Security at the site is near impenetrable. Physical entry is possible only through 3 covert access points hidden under ordinary desert structures. Biometric ID, facial recognition, and behavior-based surveillance are layered with electronic shielding that blankets a 50-kilometer radius. Around 400 engineers and technicians rotate through the facility in 6-month shifts. Contact with the outside world is limited. Most are African, hailing from Burkina Faso, Mali, Ghana, and Nigeria, but a few come from China, Russia, and even the United States. Not everyone sees the project the same way. Critics argue that the $7 billion investment could have gone toward healthcare or education, but supporters claim this is about long-term transformation, digital independence, innovation, and Africa's place in the future tech race. China's involvement is shrouded in speculation. Some say Chinese engineers helped build the complex, and much of the equipment may be Chinese. But officially, the project remains neutral, reflecting Traoré's careful diplomacy between East and West. One of the most revolutionary implications is in internet sovereignty. Today, most African internet traffic is routed through Europe or the US. Costly, slow, and insecure. Traoré's data center could keep African internet traffic inside the continent, improving speed and drastically cutting costs. For Burkina Faso, this is more than a data center. It is a redefinition. A country long viewed as a raw materials exporter may now be on the verge of becoming a tech exporter. The future remains uncertain. Western pushback, financial sustainability, and rapid, global technological changes could all threaten the project. But one thing is clear: Traoré has taken one of the boldest steps in Africa's digital history. Was this the beginning of a digital revolution, or the singular vision of one man? Time will tell. But for now, this $7 billion secret beneath the sands of the Sahara may be the most important story in global tech development.